Hello all, let us discuss the first lab program that is called average of three numbers. In this average of three numbers, we will take a input of three numbers that is a comma b comma c, and then we will calculate sum by adding a plus b plus c, and the result will be stored in a variable called s. S means sum here, and these variables like a comma b comma c comma s are declared as int. That means it only store positive values and negative values in integers. Okay, line number 5, we have declared one more variable called avg, and this variable is declared as float. That means it can store point values like 2.3 or 3.5. These values can be stored in a variable called avg. That is the meaning of fourth and fifth line. Now let us try to understand what is printf. Printf is the output function that is used to display some contents to the output screen, basically monitor. So syntax. What is syntax? A rules of programming or grammar of programming. So printf follows this syntax. At line number 7, please observe printf. The first argument is formatted string. A string is a group of characters which are enclosed in double quotes. Okay, so at first argument we will pass a formatted string, and then comma we will pass argument list. These arguments can be called as parameters or function inputs. We will see this entire syntax in upcoming lines so that you will understand how printf works. Now at line number 8, we are saying printf enter three numbers. This is a formatted string. Why? This entire three numbers is enclosed in double quotes, right? So we are satisfying the formatted string here, and these are optional. Argument list are optional. We are just saying enter three numbers. In upcoming lines we will say argument list. No need to worry. In output screen it will be displayed as the first line like enter three numbers, and then I will say backslash n. Backslash n will take the cursor into the next line. Okay, backslash n is a new line character or is a escape sequence. It will take the cursor into the new line. That is the meaning of backslash n. Now let us try to understand input function in C programming language, that is scanf. There are other input functions as well, but we will use scanf widely. Okay, so let us try to understand the syntax of scanf. So scanf also followed the same syntax. First we will formatted string, and then followed by comma, and then we will give the argument list. Now let us try to understand the 10th line. Scanf. In the formatted string, we will give format specifiers. Format specifiers means in which format we will take the input and in which format we will produce the output. So these format specifiers can be used in functions called printf and scanf. Format specifier tells the compiler I will take the input or produce the output in this type of the data. So %d is a integer format specifier, and %f is a float format specifier, and if we take character, that is %c. So for every data type there will be some format specifier assigned. Okay, as we already know, we are entering three numbers, that is why we have given 3 %ds, and don't put comma. So don't put comma in between these %ds in the scanf. Okay, you can put spaces as well, but avoid putting comma. And the next argument is argument list. Argument list means in the scanf we will give ampersand a or ampersand b and ampersand c. That means ampersand gives address of variable. Let us try to understand by using a diagram. So we have declared a, b, c and s, these variables as integer, and average as a float. These are the memory locations or some boxes which can store some value. So for every variable there will be a one address assigned by the compiler. This address nobody will predict because compiler will take the random location and it will be stored. So this address nobody can predict. So let us understand A has some address, B has some address, C has some address. Okay, and every variable has some address. Now that address, in that address, whatever you are entering as part of scanf will be stored. For example, we are entering three numbers, right? So first %d, that means whatever you have entered as part of scanf at first will be stored in address of A, and then if you enter or if you given space, and we have to enter second number, and the second number is also a integer, and whatever you are entering as part of second variable, that will be stored in ampersand b, that is memory address of b. And third one is also a integer, and same goes for here as well. That particular number will be stored in address of C. That is the meaning of scanf. Scanf is an input function in C programming, and it can be used to take the input from the keyboard. And line number 10, we are calculating S is equal to A plus B plus C. Now let us try to understand these things first, okay, with the help of diagram. Initially we have declared A, B, C, S as integer and average as float. Now try to read this matter. Initially we didn't store any value for integer variables like A, B, C and S. This will have some garbage value. Compiler will give some value for the local variables. So local variables means the variable which are declared in functions are called local variables. This will be discussed in functions topic. No need to worry as of now. Compiler will give some random values for local variables. So this will have some values which we cannot predict. So those are called garbage values. And float is also a local variable. That means float is also in main function, right? So float variable also have some garbage value initially. Now we are entering, let us assume as part of scanf, we have entered 5, 2, 3 in variables called a comma b comma c. That means in the variable a we have stored 5, in the variable b we have stored 2, and in the variable c we have stored 3. And the calculation happened at the line number 11, a plus b plus c, and the result is 10. 10 is stored in S. Now there is a some important point you should remember. So line number 12, we are calculating average. Average is equal to S by 3.0. Why 3.0 is given particularly? Why not 3? This point we will discuss now. Now let us read this matter. Division, if we are division int by int, the result is also int. So this won't give exact average value. For example, 10 divided by 3, and 3.33 won't get stored because the result is also an integer. So 3 will be stored. That 3 is storing in average. Average is float. So 3 will be converted to float now. That means 3.00 will be stored in average. But our expectation is 3.33, right? That is the exact calculation. So in order to do this, in order to overcome this problem, we have given S by 3.0. That means int by float. That will result in float. Okay. So initially 3.33 will be a result of this expression. So expression is a combination of variables and operators. We will see later. So whatever I am highlighting, the result of that particular highlighted one is 3.33, and that 3.33 will be stored in average. So we are printing. So coming back to this topic, that 3.33 will be stored in average. That is a float one. Now at line number 14 we are printing. So slash n, that cursor will be moved to next line. Sum is equal to percentage d. This percentage d, where should I refer? So in the comma, after formatted string, this is the formatted string, right? This is the formatted string. So let us understand printf syntax once again. So please focus on the highlighted one. The first one is formatted string. So this entire thing is a formatted string. Now in the formatted string we can use a format spheres as well. So percentage d, this percentage d can be referred in the variable called s. So what is the value of s here? 10. That 10 will be displayed. And what is the average? Average is equal to percentage dot 2f. So what is the variable of what is the second variable? Average. Average value is 3.33. That will be displayed onto the console window or the monitor. So let us try to understand this highlighted part. So percentage dot to f. Initially, if you give percentage f, after decimal point, 6 values will be visible. If you don't want 6 values to be the output value, you can reduce the uh, point values by mentioning the point that particular value. If you give 2, 2 values will be the output after the decimal point. If you give 3, after decimal point 3 values will be displayed. That is the meaning of this particular highlighted code. With that, we have completed the explanation of average of three numbers. Now let us try to run this code. Execute, compile and run. Now 5, 2, 3. The sum is 10 and the average is 3.33. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.